What's the name of it?
Sha-na-na-na, boom, boom. Take one.
What's up, everybody? It's your host, Shoaib, joining us today for a very special episode. Our first guests in the studio today. We got Archana and Kris. They both recently got married. They're both doctors. They're in love. And this episode's going to be called The One Love Story. As always, we are joined by my co-hosts, Samuel and Vivek.
What up, what up?
What up, what up?
So, we got a couple questions like we always do, but this time we'll be focusing on Archana and Kris mostly. We're going to learn about their story. We're going to learn about them as people.
What does it feel like to be in love? Because we don't know.
Just really numb all the time.
Probably just really effortless, actually.
Yeah.
That's what's so easy about it.
Sounds like jacking off.
It's a little better.
It's a little bit better, alright.
No, I agree. It's effortless. It's
better feeling after.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Less shame.
After marriage or before marriage?
After jacking off, it's
Oh. Okay, cool.
Less shame than just jacking.
We're not going to keep this one
there's
PG.
no post-nut regret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Where you just have to go to sleep afterwards and it's sad.
That's what I use it for. It's basically just my melatonin at this point.
Nice.
Yeah. So, we'll start off by asking a question. On our last episode, we discussed our worst years. We're going to take a little bit of a turn here on this one. We're going to talk about the best years of your life. Now, the catch is it has to be before you guys got married and before you guys actually met each other.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have shared this information with each other before and how honest you guys were, but you guys can say anything and you guys can't judge each other for your answers.
I mean, that's up to
Cool.
them. They might leave this podcast and not talk for a week. You know.
If I'm breaking up your marriage after a month and 7 days, it's fine. That's just more clout for us.
We'll send you a bill.
I won't be able to pay it anyways. So you send me anything you want. I accept all gifts. All right, Vivek, Kris, we'll start off with you.
Yeah. That's a good question. So I met Archana in 2016, so we have to go earlier than that. It's hard for me to pick one full year.
So we can do moments as well because I know for me,
Sometimes a year is a long time.
a year is a long time. Yeah.
No. So I'd say probably the first half of 2016 was probably the best 6 months of my life, I'd say. Just because it's when I found out that I was going to match into a residency and actually all the hard work that I put into studying and becoming a doctor was going to pay off. So for those who don't know, in the States, when you're a doctor and you're finishing med school, you apply for a residency, and that's kind of like your internship to becoming a doctor. And everybody finds out in March. Every single doctor finds out in March. So March 2016 was when I got that good news. That was probably one of the best moments of my life for sure. And it was just, graduating medical school, finishing up. I actually got to enjoy the cities I was living in, Chicago and Baltimore, when I was doing my rotations and stuff. There was a lot less stress.
I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of a boring story. I was just gonna hope, I was hoping that you would say something along the lines of the year I got laid was the best year of my life.
I mean,
Yeah, whatever. Archana, you're up.
It's just hurtful.
Wait, what's living in Baltimore like?
It was...
You always hear mixed stories about Baltimore.
It was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it was actually pretty boring. I didn't do too much in Baltimore. Chicago was way better. But it's a good location. You're pretty close to DC, so you can drive out there. That's a little more fun than Baltimore. they got enough sports teams that makes it somewhat interesting.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, Chris is a huge sports fan, and everybody in this room right now hates all Boston teams.
Absolutely.
We all hate them,
Fuck the Bruins.
especially
fuck
the
the
Bruins. Chris went on a rant yesterday about how much he hates
They're just
the
no good.
Bruins.
People in Baltimore have that accent everybody talks about.
Is it like a Baltimore accent?
Yeah.
I can't think of one.
No.
They might, but I don't
'Cause
remember.
Wasn't
I
that
don't
video?
remember them sounding.
You know that
different.
video where it's like they like, it was like people in Baltimore like, they had like that UK, almost kind of
Yeah,
like
it
a
was
UK inflection.
Really weird accent.
It was a
in Baltimore.
weird thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I know I moved there right after the riots. Those riots that happened.
Oh, wow.
When was that? Must have been 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved there right after that. No, but it's pretty cool city.
Yeah.
I was never in like.
I just
An
know about
area
Baltimore because of The Wire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
No,
basically it.
That's all my knowledge. And
Yeah.
the Ravens. I like the
And
Ravens.
the Ravens.
Ravens are good. I can't hate on them.
They're a good team.
Yeah.
They do what they do.
Not bad. That's our sports talk for the day. We're not going to
That's
be
all-
talking
that's all we
about
got.
sports on this pod too much. What about you, Archana? What's your favorite year? What's your favorite moment before you met Chris? When were you the happiest? You can't take his answer. I'm gonna throw that in there.
That's fine. I mean, that was great and all, matching, yeah. happy. But for me, personally, it was right before I turned, crap, I'm about to give up my age. Right before I turned 25. We don't know how long ago that was.
It was really recent, actually.
She's
Really
going to be
recent.
25 for the rest of her life.
That's right, 25 and Holden. But right before I turned 25, I was living in Chicago. I lived downtown. I had this amazing apartment right on the canal, like right on the river. And I had amazing friends. Basically, like, I was finally single. I got out of a 5-year relationship.
Nice.
And
Drama.
It was drama. It was horrible for like the first couple months.
So what didn't you like about that relationship?
The last 2 years were long distance, and we just could not trust each other. There was zero trust in that relationship. It was like one of those back and forth texting every minute of every day, and if you don't reply, then you must be cheating. You must be doing something else. It's like, no, I was just fucking sleeping. I was studying. I was taking a shit. Like, whatever it was, you know?
Wow.
Like, there was always that, like, hint of, like, are you cheating? Are you doing this? What if? What if?
Yeah. No,
You can't live
trust-
like that. You can only live like that for so long.
Trust
I
is a
know
big.
If you text me and I don't respond, I am taking a shit.
Thanks. Yeah. I definitely know that.
So do you guys trust each
That's
other?
love, man.
If they're married, I would hope so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's like definitely one thing that I never doubted when I started dating him. Like, this is someone I could trust.
It was really weird. It was like instant trust. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Or, like what made it that way, but it was like, as she said, there was really no work in the beginning. It was just
It really was effortless.
hanging out.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's the one love.
that's-
True. That's the one true love story.
Yeah.
Word. That's like the reminder for all the listeners.
Yeah.
It's effortless.
If
When
you're
it's
putting
there, it's
work in the
effortless.
beginning,
It's
it's
shouldn't
gonna
have
take
to.
take a lot to.
It should
get
feel
past
easy.
that.
Like, you should just be able to do what you want when you want, say what you want, no repercussions.
Yeah.
Do your own thing, but when you're together, you have a great time.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you always want more of it.
So do you guys feel that you do have to work a little bit though, or do you guys feel like there are things that you guys need to discuss and where you guys don't agree?
I don't know,
Or-
like when we argue, it's like about little things, like you're taking up too much room on the couch, or like
You
Yeah.
left your plate out, like, just
Yeah.
go put it in the sink. It's like little things, but nothing that's really serious. But we'd rather just get those out right away, because we know if we keep that shit in, it's gonna build up, and then one day we're gonna fight about something actually important, and all these little things are gonna come up and be like, remember that one time you left your plate outside, and then you took up too much space on the couch, and I can't live with you anymore. Like, we
Yeah.
don't want it to turn into that.
we always had a rule, like don't go to bed angry. Like
Yeah.
if you're pissed off about something, just let me know.
We're good
'Cause-
about just letting each other know.
I hate those like games. Like probably everyone's been in a relationship where they've had like, you know, someone says, "Well, you should have known why I was angry." Well, that's stupid. Like unless you actually tell me why you're
Can't
angry,
fucking read your mind.
you can't expect the other person to know why you're angry. No
Absolutely.
matter how much you wish it was the case, you can't just expect that.
Absolutely.
A lot of
I'm
people,
old,
a lot
you
of
have
people
anything-
nodding their head.
Yeah. And Mo, do you have anything to add to that relationship talk?
No, I'm
No.
learning a lot, man.
Take notes.
I'm taking notes right now.
Mo's like, send Rishtas, I'm ready.
Yeah, well, my mom's already been doing that.
Happens on the
Bio
daily.
data.
Yeah.
Oh man, my mom was still sending me rishtas when I met him.
So how was that?
That was
Hilarious.
awkward because I couldn't tell him right away, but like all the people at work didn't know we were dating.
Oh,
We were trying to
yeah.
keep that on the DL. It's like a whole other story we'll get into. So I had to like act like I was actually interested in these rishtas with people at work and with my mom while actually still dating him.
Yeah.
It was,
I had like a work friend or colleague like try to set me up with their daughter. And it was really weird.
and I was like, you should just do it. Just
And I was
do
like,
it.
I can't be a jerk and like go on a date with them if I have no interest.
Yeah, but she
So I'm
should've
pretty sure a
done
lot
it.
of people at work like thought I was gay.
Oh, they definitely did. They
Cause
threw
she was
parties.
she was like she was a pretty attractive girl and it would have seemed silly for me to just say no for no good reason.
Yeah.
And so I created a fake girlfriend for a while.
Was she up in Canada? Or?
She was in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Was her
I had
name
I had a
Archana?
friend that I called and I was like, yo, if I ever need to call you and like randomly and I haven't let you know, it's because I'm pretending that you're my girlfriend, so just go with it. And she was like, all right, that's cool.
The things you do for love, man.
Yeah.
So building on the whole relationship talk, what do you guys want to kind of go over your relationship? Like, tell us your love story, how
Like
it
how it
started.
started?
Yeah, let's just do a quick 2-minute synopsis of
2
how you
minutes?
wooed your
Ah.
girl.
But
Okay.
don't put a timer on them.
So I'll tell you how I like. Well, so we
I'm
met.
just saying
at
it
wo-
could go on for a month.
That's true.
So we met at work. We met at this residency thing I was talking about before.
Yeah.
We met in Milwaukee, and we initially met at like the orientation for work. We were both from Canada, living in the U.S., so we both needed cars, and we didn't have like Social Security and all that stuff, so we hadn't had credit built up. So we were both going to the same dealership, Volkswagen. So we were just hanging out, going to this dealership. I was driving her around and stuff, and I don't know, we went to a movie or something, and I started thinking, oh, she's pretty cool. I could hang out with her, like,
Invited himself over to
For a
watch Game
while.
of Thrones because he wanted to mooch off the HBO.
I actually seriously at that
And eat
point
my mom's
I
food.
just truly wanted to watch Game of Thrones.
Okay.
There was no ulterior motive on that day, although I did appreciate that mom's cooking.
So then, like, a couple weeks go by, and I guess he started to get interested in me and was, like, trying to invite me over for, like, a little quiet dinner date at his apartment.
Yeah.
Cute.
But this was still, like, the early stages, and, like, our entire class was still getting to know each other, and I was trying to, like, build relationships. So there was another girl in our class, another guy in our class. I was like, hey, Chris invited me over. Let's all go over and have dinner. We can all hang out and get to know each other. So I invited a bunch of people over to his place, and I show up, and he's made, like, shrimp for 2. So we each got, like, 2 pieces of shrimp.
Yeah.
And all of us are like, this guy's a dumbass. He doesn't even know how to cook for 4 people. Dee Dee and I.
And
are
you,
like,
you decided not to tell him that you're bringing your friends over?
No, I did. I was like, hey, so
She
yeah,
did
I'm on
last
my way.
minute.
And
Okay.
Dee Dee and, Andrew are coming over
But like
too.
I had already made the food, and so I was like, I gotta defrost more like shrimp and like get more food.
And you didn't even go
There's
pick
a-
up fresh
there's a
fruit.
Yeah, this guy was
Yeah.
defrosting
Yeah.
shrimp.
But he did go out earlier that afternoon and buy, like, an actual wok to
Yeah,
cook
I didn't
in.
own a wok or wine glasses.
And then he got caught at that actual
Yeah,
Walmart
by another resident.
by
yeah.
another resident. And
That's
she's
true.
like, why are you buying all this stuff? And he's like, I'm just making
No, it's,
dinner.
just
There's a lot of other girls in Chris's life, eh?
Yeah. Oh, there's
Yeah.
so many.
Yeah, there's.
Which shouldn't faze me, but... for
No,
some
I'm just a
reason-
good
Mhm.
friend, you know.
One thing for sure, Chris is a great guy.
You're gonna hear that a lot.
Yeah.
No, that's cute. Do you have anything to add to that story? Something you didn't like about him right away? Something you didn't like about
Listen,
her
what-
right
what
away?
Yeah,
did
yeah,
you
let's
like
do
about
that.
me?
What did you not like about each other initially?
Honestly?
All right.
short.
Well, we'll give you a second, and we'll talk about all the things that he doesn't like about the women that he meets.
No, honestly, the only thing that I noticed about him right off the bat that I guess wasn't like, I wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be attracted to this guy. It's like, he's really short.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, I make up for it.
We all just looked at Chris with one of those looks.
If only this was a video pod.
Yeah,
Fuck, I don't know. I can't think of something
he's just trying to be nice.
Don't
that I
be.
didn't like.
Just be honest. Be yourselves.
No, honestly, there was nothing like in the beginning that I was like, oh man, this sucks about her.
Like you didn't think the laugh was annoying, or
All
No.
the shisha.
I'm not saying Archana's laugh is annoying. It's just little
Yeah.
things. What about all her smoking habits? Shout out Shisha Bucks once more.
Shout out Cheetah Bugs.
Yeah.
I guess that I didn't realize that was like as big a thing until I like already liked her. But there was nothing like I was like, man, this girl's annoying for this. I don't know.
Alright, well.
Think about it. I feel like you're gonna.
I'll come up with something later, maybe.
We'll come back to that.
So how did it go from like that group dinner date?
Yeah, so that was
So-
actually the first time that she was attracted to me because she had like a couple bottles of wine. And
Says Chris.
No, really. I told him the story later. I was like, the first time I actually remember like even looking at you in any other light was 3 bottles of wine in, sitting on his couch, and he was sitting on this
one and a
stool.
half.
Really? Sitting on this stool underneath like one of those spotlights in his kitchen, and the light was just glistening off of his beautiful black hair. And I was like, oh, fuck, his hair is hot. It's like Shah Rukh Khan hair.
He's like, I purposely placed.
We're back
that
with the
stool
Bollywood
right
talk.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, so then really like I couldn't cut my hair the way I wanted to ever since because she wants it long and shit and so.
So
But
then, like 2 weeks later, he tried all this shit again. He tried to invite me over again. This time, he's like, "Come over, let's watch a movie after work." I was like, "Okay, I'm coming." And go over there. We get a pizza. We're chilling. We're watching one of his favorite chick flicks, 500 Days of Summer,
no, it's a
which
dick
I've
flick.
never seen before.
For
Let me clarify.
everybody out there, first of all, chick flicks are awesome. I love chick flicks.
So let me clarify.
Okay,
This is my
clearly-
term that I coined. It's a dick flick. It's a chick flick from a dude's perspective. So it was 500 Days of Summer.
Okay.
Shout out Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Who
And
you love.
I do. So I'm sitting on the couch and I was like, "Oh shit! I told Didi I was gonna hang out with her today." So I messaged her and I'm like, "Hey, I'm at Chris's. Come over." And she did
So you cock blocked him twice.
twice.
By this point, he's getting annoyed.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what annoyed me about it.
He's like, I'm
She
gonna
couldn't
make this
take a
girl
hint.
from Pittsburgh a real thing.
I honestly did not know you were trying to like just hang out with me.
Yeah.
Those first couple weeks, I did not know you were interested. So, anyways, that night was like this special week, like a French festival. It's called Bastille Days.
Yeah.
And we all went out to like hang out with some other residents, and we drank at their place. And I don't really remember the rest of the night.
I do.
Do you want to tell the rest of the story then?
Yeah, so you drank a lot. You drank whiskey, which I think I've seen you drink whiskey like maybe 4 times since.
Always risky after whiskey. You know?
Yeah, and we went out, we partied, it was fun. I remember she like really wanted to get Greek food, and so Didi and I took her to get Greek food. She was so drunk by the time we got her to the Greek place, she started complaining that we were at the Greek place. She had ordered food, and then when she got to her seat and the food came, she was like, "Who's this food? I didn't order this food." And then she completely wiped out and smashed her head off this like pillar that was behind her seat. It was just a mess.
Hey, you still fell for me
Yeah.
after all that.
Yeah. And then
She ended up like taking care of me that night, like really well.
Yeah.
Well, like I said before, Chris is a great guy.
yeah. So
Shout out Chris, man.
Thanks, man.
And it was kind of just all uphill from there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Kinda
So
what I
how long did
started.
you guys date before getting married?
3 years?
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, pretty much 3 years. Like just
We
shy
got-
of 3 years.
Yeah, we got married 4 days before our 3-year anniversary.
Well, congratulations.
That's true,
You know,
yeah.
on one, completing your graduation, becoming doctors,
Thank you.
and then getting married as well. We were all at the wedding. Lots of embarrassing dance videos. None of you will ever see. Okay, so we're gonna play a little bit of a small game here. It's just going to be 2 questions. It's a would you rather.
Alright.
Right. The first one will be to test your compatibility a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So here goes.
Wait, do we have to answer at the same time?
No, we'll take
Okay.
turns, right? So, a crime has been committed by your significant other. Would you rather tell on them, like nobody else knows? You know, and the person, your significant other has committed the crime, they know. Would you rather tell on them or serve time on their behalf? Now, this is a question that all of us can answer. So
How much time? It's like,
Yeah.
that's
we talking life here?
Yeah, like,
so
what are we talking?
let's just say you're going to jail for 8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
Jesus, that's some
It's serious.
numbers.
Someone's dead, and the American system just lets you out quick. So
Not really.
Alright, the Canadian system lets you out quick.
Yeah, that's a Canadian thing.
Yeah, that's a Canadian thing.
I'll start with you, Amor.
There's a lot of other girls in the world. She got-
I think it's a lot easier
she
for us because
got-
we're not. We're
yeah,
not,
honestly,
you know,
it's like hypothetical.
yeah, it's so
really. Like,
hypothetical for any
there's
of
no
us.
emotions attached
Yeah,
to anything.
yeah.
It's just see
I
you
mean,
later.
they're bound by the vows.
Well, okay, so assuming that you guys weren't married, we'll throw that sanction.
Okay,
or-
yeah, we'll give you some
We'll give you some
respite.
breathing room. Vivek,
Yeah,
what about you?
Alright.
What would you do?
Again, it's so hypothetical.
So, but like,
I
it is
would-
a significant other, someone you care about, someone you probably
I'm not going
do
to jail
love.
for 8 years for something someone else did.
Then
I'm
it's
sorry.
like this relationship.
Chuck it in. I'm sorry. Like you do something that's on you. I mean,
Can I know the details of the crime and why? it
I
was
feel like I
committed?
need to know.
What if it's like vehicle manslaughter? Let's say that.
Like, what if it was an accidental vehicle
No,
manslaughter? Was
like
it intentional?
you're say it's like road rage.
okay.
your significant
so
other
Chris
just,
got like
like,
super pissed.
Yeah, well,
Super
and
pissed.
So then
and
that's
just
again.
kills
That's I mean. All right, I'm not gonna get into the legalities of any of this.
yeah,
let's
yeah,
leave
calm down, Mr. Lawyer.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Road rage, I guess. Sure.
Okay,
So in this
yeah.
scenario, like you 100% take the blame for them, and there's no repercussions for the other person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess
how about you're both in the same car? How about that?
Yeah, I guess I'd do it.
so. You do it.
You do
yeah,
it.
I'd take the fall.
Okay.
Me personally, like, depending on who it was, I might do it as well.
No, I get it. It really depends,
Like-
right?
Yeah.
It's-
But I'm saying, like, someone
Yeah.
you gotta understand that it is a significant other at the end of the day,
Right.
right? Whether it be boyfriend, girlfriend, or married couple, like husband, wife, like someone you care about deeply. That's the actual situation, and I'd probably try to cover it up for them as much as I could. Right?
Yeah.
I think I'm on the same page there. Because I put you with like the status of like my parents. You know, if it was my mom or dad, I would absolutely 100% cover.
Cue the awe.
I feel like unfortunately in this society though, I'd be able to get away. Like once I reacclimated to society, like I would get more passes.
Interracial
So you
couple
should just let me
people.
take it for you.
That's true.
All right. The next one I have is this one's a little easier. Would you rather be poor but help people, or become incredibly rich by hurting people?
Easily
Absolutely
poor and help people.
people.
Okay.
Basically, what we lived the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's basically
Broke as residents.
that's basically my life now. So,
People.
well, not the helping part, just the poor part. That's about
you
it.
don't even help. You don't help.
No,
nobody.
but like, okay, so
I feel like money is useless without having good friends, like good people around you.
You're
I
not
mean, you
gonna
might
have
well,
still
I
good
mean, you
have
can
friends.
still have good
you
friends
just
out
hurt
there.
people on your way to the top.
I don't
I
think
feel like
could
you
good
lose
about
your
that.
friends when you do that. Your true friends.
You think so?
I couldn't live
What
with
if your
myself.
true friends are like you?
Then there's no way they wouldn't like screw you over to keep going to the top.
That's true. That's a good point.
Didn't think of that one. Are we kind of all on the same page here? No discussion, Vivek?
Vivek was like, I'm being rich.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought about it.
Look, I'm
like,
gonna be honest. You look at people that have made it in life, and there's no way that you've made it in life without fucking somebody over.
look at Amazon, man.
So
The
I'm not. I mean, it
Jeffries.
depends on the
Yeah.
severity of how, like, what I'm, fucking other people over with.
Hmm.
But if it was like minor fucking over to get rich, I would 100% do it.
That's what a lawyer
Wait, that's-
does anyways, so that's the life of a
Find your
lawyer.
career.
And y'all hate.
Now, me myself, I would probably hurt someone just to get a little bit further in life, for sure.
And you shouldn't feel bad about it. But like I said, there's levels to it. Like I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
like I
I wouldn't
wouldn't.
destroy someone's life
Yeah.
over me getting to the top. If it's a little bit of
But
nudging,
that's very
If
it's a little bit of
subjective.
pushing,
Everybody's,
and
everybody's idea of how they feel, what they think is really bad is different. His version of what he'd be willing to do to fuck someone over might be different from yours.
true. So, and that's your like moral compass.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
feel like it's just a slippery slope I wouldn't want to go down.
True, it might lead to like
Cool.
worse stuff
Yeah.
down the road.
So do you,
You turn into Epstein.
That's
like
That's a dark joke.
I've been pretty happy poor and helping people.
No,
guess.
there's definitely a sense of satisfaction that comes
Yeah.
from just
Yeah.
doing something for someone else.
Absolutely.
Whether it's your family or a stranger who just needs something. Maybe it's just the way I was raised, but for me personally, I've always been taught to help others, make everybody else feel like they're at home when they're around me, and feel like an equal. I don't like to put people down, but
But you do it if you get lazy.
Except
but
except Paul.
yeah, like I'm putting myself in a situation where if I was in a company, and I was the head of the company,
Yeah.
would I be looking for ways to make my business more efficient? Probably.
What if-
And
what if
that
that-
usually comes at a cost.
What if that being efficient meant you took like say like 1,000 people homeless? Like you turned them homeless.
I probably wouldn't be able to do that. I hate that anyways, like about corporate culture, which is weird because I'm saying that I will do it, but you never know, right? I guess we have to be in that
There's
situation.
levels.
Yeah, there's levels to this shit,
Yeah.
essentially.
Shut up, Meek Mill.
Yeah, shout out Meek Mill.
So, seeing as how you guys are on the cusp of finally making it in life, what advice would you give to people that are maybe a couple years behind you, that are like on the come up, but they don't see the end of the tunnel yet? Like, what would you tell them?
How does it get better? And when does it get better? Like, how do you yourself know that it is going to get better? Or how do you hold true to that belief?
So I'll say that, like, probably prior to meeting each other, we both, I think, grew a lot on our own and became very comfortable and happy, like, as our own person, as a single person.
Until you're like happy with who you are as a person yourself and what you're doing in life, you can't bring someone else into it. Which definitely made it easier when we met each other.
Yeah.
But in terms of your question for like advice to people, there's no one day, or sorry, there's no like, every single day is different. There are days you feel like, oh my god, everything's going great, it's gonna be great, I'm gonna be okay, and then the next day you feel like shit again. You're like, when is this gonna end? When am I gonna see the end? It's a roller coaster, and pushing yourself through that is the hardest part. Like knowing that it is going to be an emotional roller coaster for God knows how much longer.
Yeah.
But you have to stay ambitious. You have to have one goal and only work towards that and be willing to put in whatever it takes for that. You can't get lazy. The minute you start getting lazy, you're gonna feel like shit, and everyone around you is gonna seem like they're moving so far ahead and you're just stuck where you are. And having someone in your life to help push you through that or motivate you, even if it's just one person that you know you can count on, talk to you about your shitty day and they can tell you one good thing that happened to them, and you're like, okay, that's gonna be me tomorrow. And then you know you're gonna have that good day tomorrow. So
Yeah.
it's not a great feeling every single day, is what I'm gonna tell you. It's gonna be up, it's gonna be down. But
No, that's facts. That's something that we discussed on the last pod as well, where when we discussed our worst years, after those moments, there were a lot of highs as well.
Yeah.
And that happens for everybody, and we gave a shout out to people who are struggling. Keep at it, you know?
Yeah.
Like one day at a time.
And take pleasure in those little wins, those little things that make your day better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Focus
important
on the
is it to have the
positives.
right people around you?
It means more than anything, like,
Seriously.
because everyone has their moments where they're like, I can't do this, I give up, I'm not good enough, they doubt themselves, they question themselves. But if you have good people around you that actually care about you and want you to be successful, they'll push you through it, hopefully. And so if you find someone like that, don't push them away. If you find someone that genuinely, like, friends, partner, family members, whatever, if you have people like that, don't forget about them when you're struggling, and listen to them. Do your best to listen to them.
I also think it takes a lot of time to get to that point where you can recognize those people. When I finally saw what a friend should be like, and I surrounded myself with those people, I realized I had to push those other ones out of my life. And that was kind of in that period I told you where the best year of my life and I found myself was. When I got rid of those people, everything started getting better on its own. I didn't have to try as hard, and I'm like, I'm happy just doing what I do every day. I don't have to try to be happy.
And that was
That's
honestly like a
awesome.
huge thing that attracted me to Archie. Like, her friends, like, she had just a ton of amazing friends that I got to meet too, and they became my friends. And I was like, okay, she is an extremely loyal friend. Like, she'd do anything for her friends, so she's gonna be a good partner.
Yeah.
And I mean, I hope she saw that like same thing in me and stuff. And I think that's what made it so easy too. It's like that's what builds in that trust. I'm like, okay, she's good. She's got good people around her. She must be a good person.
No, that's awesome. So I'm gonna change the tone a little bit. We're gonna add a little bit of comic relief in here, just because that kind of took a deep turn. Life advice brought to you by One Mic Podcast. We're out here.
All the time.
Yeah. How did you guys make the whole interracial thing work?
Interracial.
I mean, to be honest, I had no idea what he was when I met him. I thought he was like
I feel like we
fucking
need to
Puerto Rican or
explain what
something.
I am. So, I'm half white, half Indian, technically. I probably sound extremely white to the listeners here. I was, born and raised in Canada. I pretty much had a white upbringing.
Yeah.
Pretty privileged upbringing, so.
White privilege.
Yeah.
White privilege.
But like to white people, I seem brown, and to brown people, I seem white. So sitting in this room,
So you got this whole confusion thing going on for yourself right now.
But it's nice because like I've had people like say I'm Hispanic, say I'm Middle Eastern, Italian. I get Italian a
He's
lot.
actually a quarter Scottish, a quarter Irish, a quarter South African.
Man,
a
she knows
quarter
you better than
Indian.
you know yourself.
Yeah.
Archana, great girl.
Great girl. Shout out Archana.
How do we make it work?
Yeah, like I'm not just talking about you two, like,
Yeah, like our families.
families.
So his mom was super happy
Yeah.
that he found himself a nice little Indian girl. And my parents were like, okay, half Indian, we can work with that. No, that was definitely a really awkward conversation when I first told my parents about Chris. But
Cool.
I think I didn't explain Chris based on what his background was. I explained Chris as who he is as a person.
Yeah.
And I think we're both fortunate to have parents who are very understanding. And they were like, all right, as long as he's good to you and has life goals and you guys can find a path together, go for it. Doesn't really matter what he is at the end of the day.
That's the
Maybe.
Indian parent
It
combo.
also helps that
yeah.
he's also a doctor.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
definitely helped. I was like, so he's a doctor?
Yeah.
Yes.
And like if you're like entering into a culture that you didn't grow up in, you just got to be respectful of that culture at the end of the day.
Did you have a lot of culture shock when you like met my family?
No, because I had met a lot of Indian people like in medical school. I didn't like going into medical school. Like I was so jaded and like I didn't know there was like 20 types of Indian, like Gujarati, Tamil, Telugu, like
Yeah, we know.
I didn't know.
There's a lot.
I didn't know. I had no idea. Like I didn't have it. I had one Indian friend.
I was like, you're brown,
Shout out Rohan.
must be Indian.
Uncultured.
Yeah, and then I went to med school and I met all these different types of Indians. Like I joined like my Indian society in med school and like I don't know, it's just I always found it very like interesting to meet people of new cultures and learn about their culture. Like it was just I enjoy that.
Yeah.
So
I like what you guys said earlier about introducing the person first before their culture.
Yeah.
I think that's very important for most of us growing up in the Western society. We are obviously interacting with a lot of different races. We see a lot of different cultures, especially in Canada. Giant ass melting pot, you know?
yeah.
And we don't necessarily see the culture before we see the person,
Right.
which is a blessing, which is how the world should be.
I'm excited
And-
for 100 years down the road when everybody looks like me.
But no, like just I like that shit, you know. What about you? What about you guys? You guys have anything to add? You know,
Oh, you know. Oh, nothing much.
my co-host's not doing a whole lot this pod.
I mean, the focus isn't on us this time, so you know.
Yeah.
All about the guests.
So we do a little segment on the pod, and it's called Weird Internet Terms. And what we'll be leading it off, it'll be 3 again?
Yep.
3 again. And he's stumped me a couple times. I'm 1 for 5 or 1 for 4, something like that, whoever's keeping track. Let's see if we can do a little bit better. I did hit up Urban Dictionary earlier this week just to
Wow.
not sound stupid.
That's dedication.
really taking this shit seriously,
Doing his
man.
research.
Yeah. And I have a feeling I'll still end up with 0 today. So
2 of them you guys could probably get.
Yeah, let's let them go.
Okay, well the first one, start off with an easy one. Circle jerk.
Okay, so
Circle
I
jerk.
feel like
It's
that's-
not sexual, by the way.
I think I have an idea of what it might be.
it's not sexual.
It's not
I
sexual.
definitely want that.
Ah.
The
I know what
origin
it
of the
is,
term,
so
the origin
I'll
of the
go
term
last if no one can get
is sexual, but like the way I'm using it.
Can you
And
use
the-
it in a sentence?
Nah.
This ain't no
You just-
spelling contest.
Yeah, let's
No
go
spelling
there.
Script
Is
spelling
the
bee.
sentence that a couple of, or at least 4 guys circle jerked into a bowl?
No.
No.
Okay.
It's not sexual, remember?
I'll let you take this one first. You can have a
So
stab
if it's
at
not sexual, I have no idea what this is.
What about you, Archana?
it. Circle jerk. The guy who is in your crew or whatever, hanging out, who is the jerk. He's like the one guy who you just like fucking hate on all the time. Like,
I think you're wrong.
okay.
No.
So
you're
I
off.
think circle jerking is like when you and your group of friends are basically excited about the same situation.
No, you're off.
That's close.
No,
That's
like
close.
it's like a one big circle jerk, you know?
Okay,
like,
that's
yeah,
the way you just
yeah.
put it right there. That sentence.
exactly.
close.
That's
So
close.
essentially,
What is
like,
it?
So it's like you just
So-
all get hyped about something?
It's
yeah,
like-
exactly.
So the
That's what I
technical definition is a circle jerk is a self-congratulatory discussion or community. In other words, like-minded people come together and tell each other how great they are.
Yeah.
So it's
Like-
just like,
Time.
now not to pick on Vivek, but say, you know, when lawyers get together and they start talking about how great law is and lawyers are, and, you know, they start just
Yeah.
patting each other on the back. Basically,
Yeah.
you're
Okay,
Circle
so
circle
jerking each other
jerking.
off.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
jerking each
Doctors
other
do the
off.
same thing.
Metaphorically.
Got it.
Yeah.
Doctors like, oh, you're a doctor? Me too. Look at my credit card.
Yeah, well, when they
Got
get
a
together.
black card, yo.
So, I mean, like, have you guys ever
Circle jerk?
Oh, we've
circle
jerked.
jerked?
People circle jerk all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we do
Our
it all the
circle
time
of
as well.
friends is doctors, so we circle jerk
Yeah.
a lot.
Oh, how many people did you save this week? Oh, like 3.
How many people did you circle jerk with today?
Oh, not any so far.
This is our circle
This is a
jerk. Yeah.
I mean,
not
this-
really. It's not, but
It happens so many times you probably don't even notice it.
yeah.
Like when you say, for example, like you watch the Raptors game and you're with a bunch of other Raptors fans,
Yeah.
and you just start talking about how great the Raptors
It's
are.
usually something that you don't. And someone has to point it out.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
are doing it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you guys are all just gonna talk about how great the Raptors are. This is a circle jerk.
Okay.
All right, next term.
Next term, let's go.
Alright, so the next term, I'll make this one's kind of easy too. You guys can probably all get this one. It's try hard.
Try hard.
It's
We all
one word.
know-
It's one word.
We all know someone who's a tryhard.
So someone who
Like 5-6 names just popped up in my head right now.
is this someone who is like tries way too hard, goes above and beyond, and like kind of pushes people around to get to the top kind of thing?
Yeah. That's
He tries really hard to
Basically.
seem
Yeah.
cool.
Just a fucking suck up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, person who puts a large amount of effort into achieving a certain image to the point where it's obviously contrived.
Yeah.
Where they try to, it's a false persona,
Right.
but they're like just bragging about themselves.
Yeah, we know we're tryhards.
If
Yeah.
anybody's got a story of a tryhard in their life,
I mean,
we don't have to name drop.
there's no names, but we know some tryhards.
Like if there's a story out there that
Alright.
that someone wants to share. All right, we're not sharing any stories
Yo,
because
the problem is
it's too close to home
it's
still.
too close to home. We just, we don't want to put anybody on
But like I
blast.
said, there's 5 or 6 names that popped up in my head, and if you got a problem with it, you know who you are. DM me Instagram at the One Mic Podcast.
What's the worst person you've ever seen? Who's like worst tryhard you've ever seen?
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah. Well, do you have any try?
That was basically my question.
No, but yours like recent. Like you said, like in the recent times.
Plus, they're removed
First.
from Calgary, so.
Probably someone in like med school who I like rotated with. Just super annoying, constantly trying to like play themselves up like they were the shit and knew everything, but
Wait, since
Yeah.
you were the head of residency, wouldn't you be a tryhard?
I wasn't the head of residency, I was the chief resident. And I need to try hard. That came to me naturally.
Sounds like a tryhard to me.
Yeah. No, but
Chris is like, yeah, I agree.
nah, she's not a tryhard. I feel like the people that try to get to the top but screw other people over, or like try to demote other people so that they seem better. Those are the real tryhards.
That's a good
So
one.
that's
People
probably
that
like
demote other people.
that's probably the worst tryhards out there. The people who are gonna maybe they didn't actually do anything of substance to get to the top, but they just like belittled someone else.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
people make mistakes
Work
all the
with that.
time, but like when someone puts you on like blast, for example, for making a mistake in front of your superiors,
Yeah.
that's the annoying crap. That's
I
the
feel
people
like
you
that's a
don't want around.
real story that
It's
Probably.
like several real
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah, I mean, sure, everybody's probably seen
Yeah.
these type of people at like either school or work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like I've probably been a tryhard at some point in my life where I like and not realizing it, and then hopefully you try to not do it on a day-to-day basis, but
I think it also refers to people who try hard to fit in. Those are the worst kind for
for
me.
sure,
Try
yeah.
harder for
Right?
that,
Like those are the ones that most people are thinking of. It's like, man, that motherfucker's such a tryhard. He'll dress a certain way or
Right.
he'll talk a certain way just to be a part of a situation.
Yeah.
He or she, not being sexist.
Alright, last term.
Last term now, this I would be surprised if maybe Vivek, but even then I'd still be surprised if he gets this one.
Alright.
And that's Rule 34.
Oh, I know Rule 34.
Oh, it was
right after
I
that.
kind of.
I have no idea.
Oh well, there you go. You got it. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, did you get it?
No,
No.
it's
Yeah, it
not.
was after 33. We know
Oh,
35,
right.
Lame doctor jokes brought to you by the
Jeez.
One Mic podcast.
Yeah, Rule 34 is that.
Well, no, let.
Okay, yeah,
I have
have
no
a go.
idea. So
Y'all have a
Take
go.
a stab.
take a step.
Rule
We'll-
34.
It's
All right,
going
I'm gonna
forward.
go with.
This is going deep into the internet.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even think of something smart.
Okay, like in what context?
Is
Like,
it is it
It's a
anyway
sexual
related?
content.
It is.
Oh,
Oh,
it is
it's
sexual.
sexual.
yeah.
I was gonna like come up with like a sports player. Shout out Austin Matthews.
You can tell that Chris has been listening to our podcast because he keeps on giving people shout outs.
He's caught on. Shout out culture.
Sexual term. Okay.
I mean, if you guys.
So
can.
is it anyway in relation to 69?
No,
ooh,
no,
like,
no. It's not
half
a
of 69
sexual
minus
move.
one.
It's not a position.
No.
God, I have no idea.
So okay.
Someone sitting on a chair. That's the 4.
It's a sexual role play or fantasy about a fictional character. Like we're like anime. It's Rule 30. It's
Close. That's
like
close.
anime
That's
fantasies,
close. Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's basically okay. What it is Rule 34 is if it exists, there's porn of it.
Right.
That's what it is.
Okay.
So basically, like
Very big.
random scenario, people would be like Rule 34, and they'd be like, yeah, there is porn of it, and they'll.
Right.
Who named it that? I mean, like, how did it be?
How to get the
How's
34?
34 the number?
I don't know.
I feel like I feel like someone's sitting in a chair, and then the
You're
other
really
person's
fixated on this
Sitting
chair
on
thing.
top.
the other person's flipped upside down.
Chris's sexual fantasies.
And there's just both like just oral going down at both ends. That would make a 30. Well, that'd make a 43.
I mean, and there's more rules too.
Sorry.
Like Rule 35 is that if there's no porn of it, porn will be made.
That's kind of like 34, but a little different.
A little different.
We are going to do one scenario and Will's going to read it out to us. We'll discuss it and we'll put ourselves in that scenario and see how we'd react. So, Amol, what's the scenario?
Inspired by the great recent movie Aladdin.
Classic.
You find a genie who offers you one of these powers. Which do you choose? Now listen carefully because there's 5 of them. You never need to eat or drink again. You can still eat or drink if you want to. Your body will always maintain a healthy weight regardless of how much or how little you eat. That's 1. 2. You never need to sleep again. You can still sleep if you want to. You will always be fully alert.
I never sleep anyways, so
Yeah.
that's a superpower I already have.
3.
Fuck you, genie.
You will never age. Your body will return to its prime state and remain there for the rest of your life. You are still vulnerable to death by non-age related causes.
Okay.
So 4 is you can rewind time up to 1 hour. It will take just as long to recharge as you rewind. So you can't go farther back than 1 hour. And then 5th is you receive a salary every week equivalent to the average in your country. You will never end up in trouble with the government regarding where this money comes from, and you can still work for more money if you want. So, do you guys need me to recap?
Just do a quick one.
So, first one is you never need to eat or drink again. Number 2 is you never need to sleep again. Number 3 is you will never age. Number 4 is you can rewind time up to 1 hour. Number 5 is you receive a salary every week equivalent to the average in your country.
So the average weekly salary, or
Yeah.
that would just be like minimum wage. Right?
That's essentially slightly above minimum
Fuck
wage.
that.
So you get,
Yeah,
but
so
I mean that's
was
still
out.
free money, and you still get to work
it's
after.
free money.
Yeah.
It's
You
free
just-
money. It
you're
is.
just
It's
getting it.
technically it's free money.
So I wouldn't go with the money. I wouldn't go with the sleep.
Yeah.
The age thing is pretty cool, but I feel like it'd also be real depressing to outlive everyone in your life.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it'd be cool to like create new friendships and shit, but I don't know. I think death is a good measure at some point in life.
I agree.
I'd probably
But you can still die.
yeah.
You can still die.
You can still
Like, you
play
can
your-
still-
Non-natural
Yeah.
cause
Yeah.
of
But-
death. Like,
Yeah,
Like you can't just
5 bucks.
die of like old age and kidney failure,
Right. Yeah.
sure.
right? Like it would have to be something along the lines of you get cancer, you get like a heart attack, hemorrhage, whatever.
Yeah.
Like you get hit by a car, you're still dying.
So in that case, I'm 100% not going for that because that's probably just gonna happen. With enough time, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
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 So I might go eating. I might not eat because I can still eat
If you want to.
gluttonously, and it won't change the way.
Would you save more
I'm
money
missing
not
one. What was
eating
the other one?
than you would by getting free checks from the government?
Sleep.
I
Sleep,
think
no.
you would.
There's one
Right.
more. Wait. So sleep, eating,
Age,
aging.
rewind time,
Ooh, the time one.
and
Yeah, but it's only 1 hour.
But it's only 1 hour.
Yeah. So I'm between time and eating. I think I go eating.
I go no sleep.
No sleep.
I want to be awake. I want to be alert. There's no point to sleeping. Sleeping is just to recharge your body, and if I don't need to do that, I could see the world. I could travel. I could do so much with my life if I wasn't asleep half the time. It's the one
I
thing
personally enjoy sleeping.
Damn, that's
It
cool.
just it
But you
feels
can
so-
still sleep if you want.
You
Could
can still
still
sleep if you wanted
sleep.
to.
Mm.
Ooh, yeah.
It's tempting. But you only sleep because you're tired.
But then would you eat
Exactly.
more and then just be obese? I
No,
would.
but you
I
would more-
100% would.
You would have more time to work out. You couldn't make excuses
Oh
about I can't
no,
work out.
that's a good point.
You'd have 24 hours in a day.
Shit.
You would have all 24 hours.
Plus,
I
like
would- I
if
would
you're
not.
sleeping, if you're not sleeping, I would have to not sleep because I'd be really hurt if you were traveling while I was eating.
Sacrifice.
You're traveling while I was sleeping. I'm gonna travel with her.
You just both going no sleep.
No sleep, no rest for the wicked.
no sleep gang.
Okay.
For me, it's gotta be the rewind time.
Okay.
Cause what I would do is get back into sports gambling, watch a
Oh,
game
yeah.
first 30 minutes,
Yeah.
see what happens, be like, okay, rewind time,
Yeah.
make my bet, bam, start doubling, tripling my money.
I think I was gonna go with
I was,
that.
I
to be
was
honest.
going to go with the rewind
yeah,
time as
I think
well.
I think
It's such a
So
useful
much
tool.
we
happens
got a
in
lot
an
of
hour.
we got a lot of
Yeah.
regrets
Yeah.
in our life.
You can
that's
go
why
back
we're,
an hour and
that's
change
why
a
we're going
lot.
back
You
an
can
hour.
change.
What's life
No
without
regrets,
some
man.
regrets? You
I
can
mean,
have
some
regrets to
reg-
make
some
the good
regrets
It could be a
choices in
great
life.
life.
Yeah, you can control some regrets though. That's the
Yes.
difference.
you could let some slide. Just because you have the power doesn't mean you have to abuse it. You might,
Yeah.
but that's on you.
I feel like at some point you would know when to stop. Though.
I feel like
It's a slippery slope.
because then
you
you'd
do it
just
for
be constantly
everything.
getting away with stuff, and then
Yeah,
you'd
true.
be a different person.
Say if like you go to a restaurant, you have a bad meal, you're like, fuck this, rewind time, go to another restaurant. Like you'd start abusing it for the most stupidest
Yeah.
things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like
Online.
at the same time, I'd make a lot of money. I'd show you. What do you think?
Please.
No, like I said, I would probably rewind time. Think about it from, like there are a lot of regrets. Sometimes you have a conversation with someone that you regret, and that you wish you could take back. Go back an hour and you're done. Like you thought about it.
Yeah, and some
You-
regrets are life
It's
changing.
a 20-minute conversation, like the interview.
Oh yeah,
Right?
you can interviews
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
go great. Like you would kill every interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know exactly what to expect, how to answer something. You fuck up at a job, you go back an hour, you fix up your mistake, or you figure out a solution within an hour.
I think that so their answer is something is more natural,
Yeah,
like not being able to sleep. They just
It's-
want to achieve more in
exactly.
life. Ours is like we know we're gonna fuck up.
Tryhards.
Let's figure this out.
just a
like-
bunch of tryhards
I
living
feel
together.
like you gotta learn. Like then you. I feel
You'll
like
never
you,
learn from your mistakes.
Exactly,
You'll
you
never
risk
know
never
what
learning from
happens
your
when you
mistakes.
have a
But
bad
I feel like that's the
conversation.
opposite, right? Because you learn from your mistake what actually happened.
don't.
So
You
do
don't.
you
You
not
don't.
believe
You don't
in, like-
necessarily have to deal with the consequences.
And
But
then
you
won't
gotta
you
learn.
Then
know,
when
though.
do you ever learn?
Yeah.
You don't
Unless
deal
you
with
have to
the
deal with consequences
Yeah.
and face the facts, the hard truths. How are you really going to learn from
And
it?
at the end of the day, if there was a conversation that you had with someone that went poorly, there's a reason it went poorly. It's gonna happen again.
Right. One
And
way or
then
the
you
other is
just
going to
gotta
happen.
have
Do you
keep
believe
rewind
that things
time.
happen for a reason?
I do.
So then, why wouldn't you let those things?
All right,
happen?
man. Just shit on my theory and my facts. Whatever.
I'm sticking
Come travel with
with
us, bro.
Yeah.
You're sticking with
You
the
don't
time
sleep
travel.
anyway.
Sticking with time travel. Time travel's dope.
But yeah,
It's
I'd probably still
irresponsible,
stick
but-
with it. Yeah, that was good. Well, thank you guys for coming on. You
Thanks
know,
for having us.
thanks
Yeah,
for
it
being
was
our
fun,
first
thanks.
guest.
Yeah, we're honored.
We wish you guys all the best on your next adventure in
Thanks.
Seattle. Hopefully, you guys kill it. We'll come and see you again. Maybe we'll have you on the pod again.
Yeah.
Seattle pod. road
Ooh,
trip?
Do like a
One
On
mic goes.
location.
One mic goes global.
yeah.
One mic's already going global.
You already know.
We are going on vacation, so everybody bear with us if a pod doesn't come out right away. We'll be gone for about 2 weeks put together, so
It's probably gonna be a long. It's probably gonna be probably more than 2 weeks.
yeah.
Yeah.
So-
a little hiatus.
Yeah.
We'll be back strong.
Just
Well,
re-listen to the first 3 pods over and over again. You know, just
Come back with lots of content, and hopefully you guys give us some feedback. DM us if you have any questions, if you guys have any scenarios that you want us to discuss. Throw some weird internet terms at us. We'll discuss them on the podcast. We won't Google them or nothing first. And like I said before, if you have any music that you want to share with us, make sure you DM us, or if you want us to review something, go on our Instagram page. We do have a Twitter page as well. You can also email us. The best way is Instagram DMs, though. Thanks again for listening, and that's all we got for today.